it feels like.
Yeah, I think for me it was like primarily just being busy with school.
Mm.
And also just like I felt that I was still working on like implementing a lot of the stuff that we were talking about. Like it was just
Yeah,
taking time.
no, it's totally
So I
fair.
felt like there wasn't really a point in having another session if you're just gonna like say, well, you're making the same mistakes you were making
Yeah,
before.
no, definitely.
Um,
I'm just saying more so like
yeah,
I'm just curious how it's
I
been
feel
going
over time
really.
just why. Yeah, I know it's nice. But yeah, I guess sort of since we've talked, I feel like I don't know. I feel like this happens every once in a while where I sort of like go up a little like skill tier or whatever, and like my unranked MMR or whatever, and then
Hmm.
like a bunch of shit stops working.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Um,
that sounds normal. So
yeah, which is just like the game. But I think a big part of it, right now has just been like I'm realizing like once people know how to edgeguard Marth properly, my recoveries get really bad.
right.
Because like because I think like at the lower levels, you can kind of just be like, okay, I'll dodge your one thing, and then I'll just up B, and then you won't be able to hit me.
Hmm.
Whereas like now it's just been like I have to like I feel like I have to outplay them like a couple of times, kind of where they can like cover, like they can cover one spot, but even if they miss that, they can still like hit me with like a back air if I don't like sweet spot or like something like that.
Yeah.
So I just kind of wanted to talk about like sort of like what you're looking for when you're recovering generally, and maybe just like some tips on dealing with some situations. So I've got like a VOD that we can look at because I think
Hmm.
there's like Andy when I play versus him, he edge guards me a shit ton, and then I've got some Slippy files as well from other matchups
Okay,
for some
cool.
situations that we could look at.
Yeah,
So
perfect.
I think I don't know if you agree, but I feel like it's hard. Like Fox edge guards Marth probably the best out of all the characters. Maybe Sheik, but I feel like Fox is just so oppressive with like the shines and everything.
Um,
So I think maybe we could start it off. But,
yeah, I mean, generally, I would say I think Sheik probably edgeguards the best out of every character.
mm,
It's like in my head, it's like the best edgeguarders against Martha in the game are probably a mix of like Sheik, Puff, and Falcon. Puff, I think,
okay.
struggles a little bit. Falcon, I feel like in my head it's very guaranteed, but I don't know if that's actually true or not. But I feel like most Falcons aren't hack stashing like well enough to the point where
Mm,
it's like okay, whatever. But I do think because he has so much speed and like kill power off the ledge that I think hack stashing and with a mix of just like lazy Marth killer, like that probably has got to be like really good against Marth. Um,
yeah.
but Fox, I think, is still really good at it. But I would say it's similar in the sense of like how what would be a good way to put it? Like I feel like for Marth to make it back against Puff sometimes, if this makes sense, like I feel like you have to win some sort of spacing or timing mix up, right? One of the two.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like Puff has the tools to cover everything. I feel like Fox
Mm,
edgeguarding Marth is a little bit like that, where but kind of reversed. Like Fox has the tools to edgeguard Marth in every scenario, but sometimes he has
mm,
to pick or make something like unreactable. So there's like different ways you can go about edgeguarding Marth. I mean, I would say with Fox there isn't like one edgeguard that covers everything, but there are every edgeguard he has makes it like really difficult to make it by sometimes if they're like good at it.
mm,
Um, so that's kind of how I feel about Fox edgeguarding Marth. I mean, sometimes the reality is like, you're just gonna take a bunch of damage off ledge anyway. Um,
yeah.
so that's like, and that'll be true with almost any character at higher levels.
Mm,
But that I think just that alone for me makes it so that Fox is probably the best. Where like I feel like Sheik can cover everything off like a ledge grab. Do you know what I mean?
mm. Yeah. No,
Um,
I could see that. Maybe it's just like my experience has been like the foxes I've played have been the ones that edge guard me the best specifically, but that could just
yeah,
be
no, that's fair.
my experience. Um, But yeah, I think I just like I have a hard time with Fox specifically just because I feel like he can cover just like so much at once with like he can just sort of represent Marth Killer, and then he has like a lot of different options with like he can like sort of go as deep as he wants for Shine, it seems like a lot of the time, and just sort of like it feels like sometimes it doesn't matter what I do, I just kind of die.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well,
I'm sure he, like you said, he can beat everything. I just feel like I don't know what mix-ups I'm playing a lot of the time.
yeah. So I mean, like for me, like a common theme across like most matchups with recovering with Marth is like your double jump, right? And like how you use
Yeah.
it. And so like for Sheik, for example, let's say like Sheik can pretty reliably like if tell like if Marth isn't able to double jump and grab the ledge, like she can cover any like spacing or timing mix up he does after with like a falling or rising aerial, right?
Mm,
Um, But I feel like with Fox, it gets a little tricky because like for him, like let's say like Sheik gets hit back into the stage when you're double jumping, like it doesn't really ever mean much, right? But for Fox, it usually means a knockdown or like a stage tech, which he can't really afford to stage tech against Marth too much of the time, right? It's not like he can like stage tech and then up B a forward air or something because he'll just get like hit with Marth's up B on the way back, right? He could do like stage tech side B, but maybe Marth like grabs the ledge or like punishes his on stage landing if he's like quick enough, depending on the time that he has to tech him to begin with, right? So like there are things that make it scary for Fox to go out and hit you, but one edge guard I really like, I'll share my screen. One edge guard I think is pretty good against Marth. I don't think it's like perfect, and I think there is counterplay to it. But Cody does this variation of an edge guard. It's hard to really like point out an Uncle Punch, but just to give you like an idea. I mean, he has a whole video on it if you ever wanted to go look it up. On like how to edge guard.
I think I have seen it.
But he basically does this edge guard where he'll sit here with light shield, and depending on what he thinks Marth's gonna do with a double jump, like if he thinks Marth's gonna, because the way you would beat Marth Killer typically anyway, right, is you would look at this situation and you'd say, okay, well, I'm just gonna like double jump nair at him, right? And like if he gets hit by the nair while I'm double jumping, like it has 2 hits, so technically you could like hit him on the way back if he doesn't fast fall, right? But either way, like you get through it pretty reliably, or even some people just opt to like hit them and then double jump, or double jump and then hit them at the last possible second. But I like the nair a little more just because it's like a little longer lasting. It's more reliable. But what's nice about this edge guard for Cody is he able to say like, okay, well, I'm going to call out your double jump nair and just like shine you on your head and you die for it, right? Yeah. He also can do a similar thing where like some people do that sweet spot in like the no fly zone thing we talked about in other lessons, like just hit him with that, right? And what's nice about it is like you just have to react to the double jump rings. Anywhere you go with this jump is pretty unreactable, right? And the other benefit is because you're trying to beat something like Marth Killer, like you don't really get the chance to like go high above it or whatever. So this isn't really like a thing you ever have to be worried about, right? You hit them low otherwise. So it's like this is a really good one, and the only thing Marth has to like not get shine, like he can't really contest this really with this edge guard because it's again unreactable, and even if Marth gets hit, like Fox gets hits back on stage, kind of like the Sheik thing we were talking about. So I think this is really good. And then of course the only way Marth beats it is he goes below the stage, and he can either choose to land on stage, which then Marth Killer connects and he gets up aired. He could go here, but again, he'll just get Marth Killered and die. Or he can try and get around it, but then Cody could just do this, right? And that's like, this is all pretty flowchartable on reaction. Obviously, he's going to be better at the short hop, fast fall drift in than I am, but point being, like, maybe Marth does get around it and he like sweet spots the low Marth Killer up B perfectly. And even Cody admits, like, that is, like, a fault of going for this edge guard. It is technically possible to sweet spot here. But it is so pixel perfect and precise, he just admits, okay, you know what? You got it. Good job. And then he goes back to center stage and still has, like, really good positioning, right?
Yeah. That's kind of, like, the Fox player I usually lose to, like, Andy. He does that pretty, like, basically exactly what you described is usually how he tries to edge guard. Like, probably not as good as Cody, obviously, but, like...
Yeah, I will say... I do think this edge guard is really good, and it does have its like use. Like, if you don't have a double jump, Marth Killer is like all but guaranteed, right? Like the only thing you really can do is try and sweet spot around it, and then it's like Fox has to respect, like, okay, good job, whatever, right? Because it is genuinely just really hard to do.
Yeah, I'm not very good at it.
And it's hard. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I hit it very rarely, but the Marth Killer only works like without a double jump, right? The Cody version of it, where he covers the unreactable double jump options, like these are guesses that he's going for, but are pretty like in his favor to do, right? Like if I call out the timing, like I could totally like hit him, you know? And that's like something he acknowledges as like a threat in his video. It's like on the one hand, yeah, the Marth totally could like double jump fair back on and like hit you out of the double jump. But it's the fact that you make them scared to do that. And if you like, let's say you don't and you just hold it and they do that preemptive fair, because it's all in an unreactable range, right? Like then maybe he just gets to go to ledge and then hits you immediately for doing the fair or shines you or whatever, right? But all this to say, I think where the mix-ups for both characters kind of come into play is surrounding Marth's double jump, right? And so we could definitely talk about that with clips, with Fox specifically, if you'd like. But generally speaking, like I would say for the most part, there isn't really too much to Marth recoveries other than like assessing risk reward of like someone going for like a quote unquote like unnormal option, or just like hitting your timing and spacing on the up B after, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think like a big thing from when I was like watching my VODs as well seems to be like I'll hit the spacing on like the first one that I try to go for, but if I get hit, usually like the second up B, usually I like will be like off with like the sweet spot, which is something I definitely need to.
Yeah. I mean,
But yeah, I think. Go ahead.
the sweet spot I would say is hardest to cover in general. Like if I don't know if you've ever seen that Pew Pew video on recovering or not. So when he draws the box, like you definitely are almost always gonna want the bottom out box, like the lowest and furthest out you can be from the ledge. Like that's typically where you want to aim for. But nowadays, like especially against the faster characters, or even like Sheik, where she contorts her hurt box so much, like that can be pretty risky to go for because you might get like ledge grabbed at like 0, let's say. So you gotta tell sometimes, and like even with Fox, like there'll be times where like I know they're crouch canceling right at the ledge, and I'll be a little lazy because I know they're at 0, and I'll up B into them. And because like you can't true crouch cancel the weak up B at 0, like you ASDI it. I'll execution test a lot of people, and they'll try and down smash me. They whiff a down smash because they're late on the hit. But against box players, I don't like doing that too much because they're just mashing C-stick down anyway, so it doesn't work against them. But yeah,
can't you like block or whatever, or like just spam a move and get out of that?
You could hold down and crouch, and then do it with C-stick is one way to go about it. But yeah, anyway. I'm just saying I don't like it against box players because they are less likely to do like down and A. They'll almost always just use the C-stick.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, I think maybe I could just send you like my VOD versus Andy, and
Sure.
we could maybe talk about the edge guarding from that. I think like the big thing is like I never really try to go for those like to try and like attack them with like a fair or whatever. So maybe that's something that I should be trying to call out more, like call out the timings. But yeah, it just feels like we might have watched this video before, but I think we've talked about the recovery specifically.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I'll say I don't think trying to hit Fox above the ledge is really great. I do think it's generally speaking like not ever worth it. It's just good to like keep him honest about.
Yeah, so this is what I feel like. So there he didn't shine me, but like I feel like usually I get shine there.
Right, but that's the mix up, right? It's like, are you gonna double jump at him, or are you gonna double jump and grab the ledge, right? So
yeah. So I could double jump like at him onto the ledge is sort of the idea.
You could, but he can unreactively shine you if you're gonna go for that. So it's like the point that I'm trying to say, I guess, is like there's not one guaranteed thing you can do here every time. It's like that is an option that exists. Does that make sense?
Yep. No,
ultimately, like he has the winning position there, and
I that's definitely totally fine. I just like trying to think like I feel like I'm losing here maybe slightly more than I should, or just trying to understand what options I have to maybe be better about it.
That's a great forward air. Probably should have kept going with it, but still good.
Yeah. Spanish can't tragic.
Here we go too, but that works also.
Yeah, no, I definitely am still trying to work on the edge guarding. It's just Fox just has so many options. It's been slow.
Yeah. Well, like, I guess like a good tell is like after you hit this down tilt, right? Like he has to double jump to make it back. So any hit you get, you can just carry him off stage now. You know.
Yeah.
There's really like not much he's able to do once you cover this fair. You just go out, keep aligned with him.
Mhm.
But he has smash work, so it's whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, I would say one thing that's probably making it hard for you in neutral right now is you're doing these very slow, like short hop, no fast fall fairs. It doesn't really
Mhm.
seem like you're threatening anything other than those, right? Like here you do a
Yeah.
mix up where you do like a no fast fall down tilt, but it kind of makes your timing like a little obvious as to like when you're gonna land.
Yeah.
Because the biggest thing he's scared from going across that distance, right, is just you putting up your shield and grabbing him, or
Mhm.
like moving back and hitting him. So just something to keep in mind. Mix up your timings. But
Yeah.
okay, so catches you. Never mind. Oh, I like that S smash actually. That was pretty good. Good call out on the CC grab. Okay. So far he hasn't edge guarded you once yet, really. He's just gotten like clean, straight hits.
Yeah, I thought there was more in this set. This one.
I mean, we can just skip
Usually I
ahead to
feel
edge
like,
guards if you'd like. But
yeah, I think that would work as well.
so yeah, let's just see. Once he gets a couple up airs, drop an edge guard. Okay, cut you off ledge here. Drop an edge guard. Okay, so you get a straight hit. Okay, so let's watch this one. So okay, this side B I feel like is actually what kills you. This is like almost no fly zone, like whether or not he's on the ledge, but it
Mhm.
is tough at like a later percent because it's like, see how we can just kind of like reliably after that side B. Because let's take your next side B out of the equation here. You really can't
Mhm.
use it because you're gonna fall down now, right?
Yeah.
See how like because of the timing he grabbed the ledge here and you weren't ready to like hit him out of it, and you were gonna go for the super low double jump one.
Mhm.
Like he's fully invincible when he decides to go for this roll still, right? Like he
Mhm.
hasn't he's flashing here, but like as soon as this animation starts, like there's no chance of him getting hit. And the reason why this one at least is because you used your side B too early in the no fly zone. It is pretty far out, I will admit, but the point being
Mhm.
like you don't need to use your side B to make it back here, so you shouldn't. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And it's like I don't hate using side B first before a double jump, honestly. Like I feel like which one you decide to go for is kind of whatever. Like typically, I guess some people would argue if you're gonna go low, like down here, double jump's probably better, but it's really a pick your poison kind of thing.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it's like because you used it so early, now you don't have a timing mix up. Now you just kind of have to rip an uppy here. You could have
Mhm.
gone for early, I guess, instead of using the double jump, like and just ripped one immediately. But the late roll kind of makes that one difficult. So that one I don't think is anything he necessarily covered like amazing. I think it's just one of those like you kind of screwed yourself over by using the side B. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, so I think so with side B generally, um, so like it's just at that point I used it earlier than I didn't need to use it there, I
Yeah,
guess.
pretty
So then
much. Like
it removed like some of the timing mix-ups that I potentially could have had. He just can kind of do one thing because
like a
of
lot of people
basically
kind of autopilot that side B, even if
yeah.
it's low, like you gotta be reactive when you're down here to what he's doing. So like here he's full hopping, you should be reacting and trying to like reel it back a little bit
Hmm.
on here. Like if you reel this up B back so it doesn't like go on stage, but instead like hits up like here,
Hmm.
you can definitely do that on reaction and hit him before he grabs the ledge. You know, whether or not that like knocks him down and puts him below the stage is another thing, but you save your recovery here.
Yeah, because I think like generally speaking, I want to avoid landing on stage as much as possible.
Yeah, and it's like here you land on stage and you let him grab the ledge. You never want to let him grab the ledge, I guess, is like the point I'm getting at. But um like he goes for a roll here, but he could definitely like falling up air instead of going for that roll, right?
Yeah.
So um but yeah, like don't let them grab the ledge and then play the timing mix up. Try and hit them before they're able to, if you can. It gets
Okay.
tricky then because it's like maybe then he baits you, But if you have good sweet spots on your up Bs and you hit them at the right time, it's pretty hard for him to hit you from on stage, you know?
Mm.
So
So like there, I'd want to hit him. So I want to hit him, but I also want to make sure that like I get to the edge before he could like hit me while I'm still falling from my up B, right? Like
yeah, exactly.
I feel
Yeah.
like sometimes I do that. I try to like, oh, I can hit you now, but they're at like too low of percent. So then I'm like just slowly falling, and then they just like forward smash me or something.
Well, that could be the case if you like up B a little too high, like here, let's
Yeah.
say. And
Hmm.
they just kind of get plinked backwards, but that's why you have to really like hit your up B at the latest timing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
So I want to like time it such that I can still hit them, but also grab the edge,
yeah,
but
exactly.
not. Okay, so that's I guess obviously a tight timing, but that's like this game's art. That's just kind of.
Yeah, I mean, like for what it's worth, you can think of it as like two ways, right? Like first, you want to confirm, and like you have to do this all in real time, and that's where it gets kind of tricky. But it's
Yeah.
like first you want to confirm where you want to place your up B, right? Whether it's going to be like out here, right at the ledge, or you do it a little early and go on stage, right?
Hmm.
So these would be like the curl example, and this would be like a height example.
Yeah.
Um, so you have to figure that out first, but then yeah, then you have to time it so you hit it as late as possible. So I would try and like aim to have Marth be up and hitting him when he's like here, right? So you could aim for a little bit back out. You could also aim for just right at the ledge with this one, right? Because he's pretty close into it. So probably
Mhm.
like a middle ground like here would be better. You just don't want to make sure you don't miss him, but if you do miss him and you're a little late, like he just grabs the ledge and you fall to your death, right?
Yeah.
So that's where it gets a little tricky, but that's just kind of what you have to do. Otherwise, you're gonna do the easy thing and take the onstage punish. But if you're at a high percent and he's ready, like they'll just ledge dash or falling up air up smash you or something, you know. So
Yeah, he's usually pretty ready for that a higher percent. So I think there he fucked something up and he got the roll.
I will say though,
Okay,
like
guys.
this
Sorry, go ahead.
situation in general about like you up B before he's able to grab the ledge. Generally speaking, I know it sounds crazy, but it's kind of in Marth's favor for the most part because it's like they can't be too risky with it off stage, otherwise they get gimped, right? And they all have felt that from like lower levels or like years before of playing like random
Mm.
Marths. But also like for what it's worth, like as long as you're not egregiously above the stage when you hit your up B, like or if like you have to be because they're gonna fall or whatever. Like the situation changes every time, but like as long as you're not egregiously overexposed, um, after you hit them, let's say, and they're back on stage, like it's pretty difficult for them to get like a good killing hit on you. You know, like maybe they get like a down tilt, but you just play the
Yeah,
situation from there. You know, but
yeah. I
even
think
still, like the
sometimes
down
I'll
tilt shouldn't happen.
yeah. I think most of the time when that happens, it's just like I get like maybe like monkey brain, like oh I can hit them with the top of my up B even if they're like
Right.
we were like way too high above and like that just doesn't and they're at like 5%. Like it just doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So can you see how like this edge guard, like from this far out, it's kind of just all but guaranteed now at this point.
so okay, so that is something that I'm not just okay. So at a certain point, if I'm too far out, I'm kind of just like I'm
You're
just
just kind
screwed.
of dead,
Just
yeah. That's just
okay.
like sucks, but it's like the only thing you can try and do here, and it's like big emphasis on try is like hit that like sweet spot Marth killer on the up B because you can't go onto stage. You're just gonna get up aired. You can't try and sweet spot like into it because you'll get Marth killered. So you
And
can
I guess
only really go for it at this point.
I guess there's also that like I could go for like a ledge cancel on like the edge like the ledge or something, but that's also super precise.
Yeah, it's pretty. I would sooner just try and like sweet spot here than try and go for the ledge cancel because he could also
Yeah.
just like if you hit him while you're trying to because you need to have. I guess the point being is like you need to have drift to be able to hit the ledge cancel. So if you have to up
Mhm.
be high and drift back, like he's just gonna Marth killer back air you off. So it's not that one's not gonna work as well as you might think.
Okay, so in this situation, just be like, I'll try to go for like the super perfect one. Most likely won't hit it, but like maybe I will, and then
Yeah, well,
yeah.
it's like you're pretty dead here because you wait so long to use your side Bs to get back. Like you drift for a long time and then
So
start.
if I had side beat earlier, I could have.
Yeah, you would have had
Yeah.
more time to fall, and then maybe you get one more double jump
So
mix up
generally,
here.
like I'm high up, it's better to side B as opposed to like double jump, I guess.
Yeah,
Right? Because I
almost
guess
every
yeah,
time.
because you can't get height.
You the way side B works, a lot of people have misconception about like it using momentum to push you forward, right? But I mean, you can side B in place a million times. Why side B is good is it slows you fall slower in the air, right?
Mhm.
So like if you're drifting to the left here, you just fell like so much further than if you were to side B and do it. Like you move further over time, but like you're still have the same drift. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I see what you mean.
Um, so you potentially could have like double jumped from like here, let's say, and then you get that double jump mix up we were talking about earlier. From here though, like let's say right when you started falling about here, like I don't even think you could make this with an air dodge if you tried, right? So you really only have the perfect up B at this point. And like we were saying, like it's super super difficult to hit. So really, it's the side B placement when you started it that kind of killed your stock there more than anything. Even though it would have been hard anyway.
So general theme seems to be I need to work on my sides. Okay, I should have. Sorry, it's just like also something I've noticed that like when I fall behind, I tend to cut my combos a bit short. Um, but yeah, I guess it's also tough at this percent. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess general theme is I seem to be doing side Bs at sort of like too early of times a lot of the time, or like a bit too early, because that's something to be aware of.
Here, I actually have a set where I do something very similar, and maybe it can show you why it's like not good.
Because like I feel like sometimes I'll watch like your sets or like any other, and I feel like I just don't understand how they got back. Like I just like I guess it's just like at the end of the day, it is just like the mix up that you win, but it's
So I mean, I played. Yeah, I played really bad this set. This was I had other stuff happening during the day, but I do lose this set primarily because of my like bad recoveries, that are just like very autopilot. So here's like I do pretty much the same recovery this whole set, and I watched it back and I was like, damn, was I even thinking? Like I don't know, but anyway, so when I'm playing here, I keep going and trying to stop him from grabbing the ledge by like hitting him or side being above it, right? Yeah. And it's like, see, like I can hit him, I can grab the ledge, but it doesn't matter because like he's not at a percent where he's gonna get knocked down by anything I do, right? So that's kind of one of the first things we talked about. Is like you could go for like the ledge cancel or like try and hit them early or whatever, but a lot of the time like your sweet spot does just kind of matter more because you get hit on the way back down. Like but sometimes like you kind of can't really afford that because like here I do the double jump early, right? And now I don't have to hit him here necessarily because it's Falcon. But like saying, let's just say it was Fox where he was able to turn around in the air. Like Fox may have been able to grab this, right? So it's like this, and like here, the side B that I go for, like once he's able to see like, okay, he side B'd here and I'm invincible, like he actually has to do nothing other than like literally just not reacting or doing anything here. He just lets you go right past him and then get off at the right time, and then you punish the landing, right? Here he didn't because he rolled, but he could have done like neutral get up or like an aerial from ledge or whatever, right?
Yeah, sort of similar to how you would enter a sheik, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. Like just let them go on stage and then you hit them, right? And I do these bad side Bs like in double jumps to the ledge all the time. So right, same side Bs. This is what we were talking about earlier, where you need to side B to make it back. You side B, and then now what you get is either once you get to a point where you can't grab the ledge right away, you can either try and grab the ledge. I don't, but like, or then you can up B after, right? Or what you could do is you could go even lower, let him waste his invincibility, right? Do this from low, and then you make it back. But there, because I'm doing my side Bs and double jumps so close to the ledge and he just refreshes without getting hit, he's going to be able to cover it like every time. And that's like, I feel like is the most common theme for anyone against Marth, right? It's like, if you're able to refresh your invincibility without him like double jumping and hitting you, you will edgeguard him. Because Marth can't Marth can't make it back with just his up B. He either lands on stage or he lands off, and you can cover both with just like old ledge.
I feel like sometimes I like try to be like, oh, okay, if I want, because I'll try to like up B them, like I'll try to figure out when they're like try to like time for when their ledge invincibility is going to be done, and then like and when they're going to refresh and try to like time my up B to grab the edge in between the refresh, but I don't know if that really works.
It's hard. Like I would say, like when you're recovering as Marth, generally like a lot of people autopilot and they think they're safe, but you really want to be as reactive as you can in those spots, because like if they do give you an opportunity to hit them off the ledge or let you grab the ledge, like you want to take it every time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here you just SD'd like whatever. Okay, let's see you cover this. No, not good. Should aerialed from ledge there maybe.
Yeah, I thought he would get like Mutakind there, but he was too close.
Okay, so here you just get comboed again. Yeah, I would say this.
Would you go for up throw at this percent, or would you go for like something else?
I probably would go for up throw. Yeah, I'd go for up throw nair probably, like up throw double jump nair, because you definitely had time here. You just hesitated on once you got up here.
I think like in our other sets that we played, I got like I feel like I would go for nair and he would just survive, but I guess it does. I just need to get better at edge guarding.
Well, like you have other options if you wanted. Like if you wanted to, you could fair here in theory, right? Like double jump up and fair him forward. But if he DIs in, it kind of just doesn't do much. Where if he DIs in on the nair, like he's gonna be sent off stage. I think the big problem with up throw at percents like these is, and like why Marthritis is a thing in general, is like you don't really have at a higher percent, because Fox gets so much sent further from the up throw than like 80, let's say, where like you could totally like you don't have kill moves in the air, right? So like at 80, let's say you could go for like up throw up B as a DI mix up on DI in. Like if you think he's gonna DI out and get away from your like a forward air string or an up air string, let's say, you can up B and he just explodes and dies, right?
Yeah.
But at a higher percent, you kind of really only have like combo move mix ups. Like you have nair, or you have fair, right? And that's kind of it. Like you could maybe go for something tricky with like side B or whatever, but none of that's really as guaranteed with like how they can DI that. So it's not as reliable, even though it's like cool and can work.
I try to go for like weak up air stuff, but that doesn't work that well.
Weak up air, I think, is really good lower to the ground. Like if you can get a weak up air, and have it be like falling or something, and then like carry the stun. But like when you go up immediately after an up throw, you really are just DI mixing them between like nair and forward air, and that's kind of it.
Okay. Yeah.
But like that can lead to an edge guard, obviously. So that's kind of just what you're aiming for once you get to a percent like that.
Yeah, I think you have that point.
Okay, so yeah, same here. Like this, like immediately double jump after the forward air here just kind of kills you. Like it's not even so much that like, oh, he guessed right and like got the early up B, right? But it's like you don't really have a timing mix up now. He grabs the ledge a little early, to be fair. So like he's gonna go for this back air, not because he has a hard read on you necessarily. It's just like if you go low and like delay your up B as much as you can, maybe you call him out, but he can't really sit on the ledge here and react like as fast to like you ripping it early or going low and like hitting him on the way up, like those 3 timings. But he could, in theory, cover everything with like roll, I guess. It's just like it's a read, and most people aren't going to go for that. So he goes for the back air here because he grabs the ledge too early anyway. Does that make sense? Like right here.
Okay, so he grabs the ledge too early, but then I double jump, so I kind of screwed myself over by doing that. And then he just goes for the back air. That happens to kind of work out.
Yeah, well, like, so to be clear, like from his perspective, he hits you here. He immediately grabs the ledge while you're double jumping, right? So yes, the double jump screwed you, but also like him grabbing the ledge here is screwing him because you're double jumping, right? Because now he can't cover it perfectly, but it's still really in its favor. Like I said, there's only like a couple things that can beat it. So he goes for the safer thing, which is just to like get off and back air instantly, but you kind of let it rip also. So it's like, I think you're letting it rip most likely just because you got hit and it's like easy to do that. Not because you're playing like some 3-layered recovery mix up, but that I'm just trying to explain like why this is happening. So what you should have done here, and a good habit to build, is like when you get hit off stage, it's okay to go low. Like generally speaking, you almost want to recover low every time. And maybe sure at first you'll probably like lose a couple games or stocks because like you got ledge grabbed at 0 probably, but you'll also sooner understand like what options people have to be able to do that, and you'll have better recovery mix-ups at the end of the day.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm like scared of going low because I'm like terrified of getting shine.
Yeah, which is like
Um,
understandable, but you got to do it, right? Because otherwise
mhm,
you're just playing like unfavorable mix-ups.
I see.
And then yeah, that's definitely an example of like game hard. Sorry, you know,
Yeah, no,
but
it's fine. It's good to accept
yeah.
because it's like it is fine that like if I'm recovering, like
Hmm.
they should be in an advantageous position, but I'm just like I should at least try to get back, you know?
Yeah, and I, for what it's worth, I think Marth has one of the best recoveries in the game. Not because I think he can make it back from any position, but it's like once he's in a position to make it back, he always usually has like one mix up, right? Like Sheik and Falcon, I don't think that's really the case a lot of the time. Like they get to kind of cover everything for him for the most part. But I do think it's like a big
Mhm.
reason of why this matchup's like a lot more doable for the most part is like Fox can't reliably cover everything all at once on reaction.
Okay, so I guess I just need to like play them, just play mix-ups and just like
Yeah,
outplay my opponent.
exactly.
It's
Yeah.
just if yeah. Do you like in those spots like reverse hit nair from ledge, or do you go for like just like when they're sorry, just like a separate thing when they're like up
Mhm.
being and they're like falling back? Do you go for like nair, or do you usually like just go for like back air or something else?
Like here?
Yeah, like here, like maybe here I think I'd be a bit too late and he's a bit
Yeah.
too far in. But
Hmm.
like I think in some other spots, like maybe like reverse hit nair could be good to like push them back off stage.
I would probably do like let's say if I'm like actional at the ledge here and not stuck in like up
Mhm.
B leg, if they're falling at a spot like this, I
Yeah.
would probably go for weak up air
Hmm.
because I would go for nair if they were coming out and falling like down like this, right? Where it's like ambiguous for like are they gonna barely land on stage or are they probably
Hmm.
gonna do like a ledge grab mix up, right? Because it's like then I can position my nair so that I'm like forward facing. Does that
Hmm.
make sense? So I'm like
Yeah.
forward facing, and then I can do. I'll always get the back hit, right? Um,
Hmm.
but here where they have a lot, like if I were to go for nair here and they just hold full right, they just get sent the other way and probably can like DI
Hmm.
down and hit the stage or something. Um, so here I'd probably go for weak hit up air, but I would try and get the weak hit up air like as late as possible into my double jump. I wouldn't do like rising weak hit up air because
Hmm.
I'd want to be able to land off the up air and maybe combo it into like an F smash or a regrab.
Okay. Okay.
Um, so I think up air is better here, like undeniably, but I would say that like where a lot of people will go wrong with the up air is doing it like early so that they're
Hmm.
not able to like act off of it. But like at high percents against Fox, like weak up air unironically is probably one of Mart's best moves for like just leading to something solid, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, here same thing, right? That side B near the ledge. It's tough because you don't have a double jump here. I don't think. I think
Yeah, I think I
you
used
get
it here to try
caught.
and get out of the dark and then
But here, like this is where you gotta be like, okay, shit, like I lost my double jump. This is really gonna be hard. But you gotta go low here, because normally when you're in a spot like this and you float to like here, let's say, you
hmm.
do get some kind of double mix up of like, am I gonna double jump super high on stage where they have to like commit to a double jump and hit me out of it, which is scary for
Hmm.
them.
Yeah.
Or am I just gonna like go low and bait them on the double jump, right?
Hmm.
With when you have no double jump here, it's still really really bad. Like you better hope that you haven't wasted any of your side V's, which I think you did here. Um, but like you at least get the side B low up B mix up if it's fresh, and that's kind of it, you know. Um,
Yeah.
but again, it can be hard to cover if they time their invincibility right. But that's why you got to stay reactive. Like, oh shoot, I think he's gonna grab the ledge, and you can rip an early one maybe. Really
Hmm.
hard at 0. Like, don't get me wrong. I think this is like unironically maybe one of the worst spots you can be against like a good Fox that knows how to edgeguard Marth, because it's like, well
Yeah.
shoot, I kind of have nothing now. But this side B,
Yeah.
like you just can't do it, right? For that reason you just
Yeah.
saw. But I think if you were to like more conscious of like holding on to your double jumps here, and let's say like off this second upper you get hit by, because this
Hmm.
is just like they're just gonna do this anyway, right? And like cup try and like get as many hits in the air as they can. If you were more conscious here and didn't use your double jump and like tried to just like hit him for coming to hit you or something, or like take the up air and maybe try an SDI out of it. If
Mhm.
you ever got sent here like this again after this nair, all of a sudden this is like a really bad spot for the Fox to do this, because you could double jump nair into him, you know, and then he's
Mhm.
pushed off stage or you get on stage, whatever.
Wait, so like when I see them like shield, so I thought you said you didn't want to try to hit them there, or is it like when they're representing Marth Killer, you want to like try and like double jump nair through that? The idea?
So what I guess what I'm saying is like, I don't think in this spot, I think if you have a double jump, this isn't like the best spot for Fox or for Marth, right? Like I think this spot is pretty tricky for both of them, and there's a
Mhm.
mix up that happens here because yes, Fox could in theory hold the ledge if you were to go low, or double jump out and shine you if you were to nair, right? But also in
Yeah.
theory, Marth uh, makes it back if they double jump low. Or sorry, if he goes low and Fox double jumps out at him, and then he can just
Mhm.
on reaction space his up B and hit Fox, or just grab the ledge. Or
Mhm.
if Fox holds the ledge, Marth can nair through it, right? So it's like it is
Okay.
50-50 at this point.
Okay.
And the go low option, typically speaking, is a little harder because you have to like actually execute and react on top of it. So most
Mhm.
people will be lazy and do the nair, and that's why most Foxes are good at like shining out of this spot if they go for um, the the nair here. But ultimately, like you just have to be reactive here, and like this side B to me is telling me that you're not, right? So
Yeah. I think
um,
like generally when I'm off the edge, something I've been working on is trying to be like a bit more reactive. Like just in general, but also just like in disadvantage of
mm-hmm.
like
That's good.
um yeah, because I think something that I've been sort of working on because like I has been like I think like sometimes what I would do is I would like be like I feel like I would see reactions like, oh, I only want to react when I'm like dash dancing or like just full hobby. But I think I'm starting to see it more as like I like commit to something, like be like a dash forward or a fair or like whatever, and then like ideally I want to like and then do whatever I'm doing next like as late as possible.
Mm.
And like where I'm like sort of reacting to it. I don't know if that makes sense, but I've just sort of try to think about like instead of going for like longer predetermined things, I've been trying to like add more
Yeah, that's
points where
good.
I'm like reacting to
Mm-hmm.
what they're doing. Well, also because I feel like people have told me I'm way too like because other people have told me I'm too reactive, which I don't think is true. But
Yeah, I mean, I
uh,
don't think you can be too reactive. I think there are spots where like
I think
there
more
are
that they meant
spots
by
where
that.
you are trying to react to things that like you can't. So like here, for
Yeah.
example, like I think this like run up forward down tilt like this, like I think
Hmm.
you very much probably are reacting to the fact that like he's gonna land on stage or after this full hop, right? And you're gonna like
Yeah.
cover his landing, but like the distance between the two of you makes this so that after the you commit to the dash, you
Hmm.
definitely react with this dash, but by the time you're actionable from it, like here, you're not
Yeah.
reacting to anything he's doing, right? So it's
Hmm.
like that I would say is the difference, is like you're committing to like a sequence of options in
Hmm.
reactable spots, but like none of that sequence is like in a spot where it's guaranteed. Does that make sense? So like in other
Yeah.
words, you're reacting from good spots, I would say, just not with like the right moves, because like this isn't gonna work, even though like you got the regrab on the roll. You get what I'm saying about like the down tilt isn't gonna hit on reaction there.
Yeah.
You just kind of
Yeah.
like option coverage them there. So let's look at this one. So here again, double jump early kind of forces your hand, but
Hmm.
he didn't punish it, so whatever. And then here, same double jump, right? But this is like from what we were talking before. Like this is that same mix up,
Okay.
and see how you're able to like get around the double jump shine by just like grabbing the ledge here.
Yeah.
And so you make it back. But now, see, double jumped from way out. You can't grab the ledge.
Hmm.
There's no mix up here for you at this point, right? Like it's
Yeah.
now that you only have side B and up B, like from his perspective, like he can just hold Marth Killer because you have no way of grabbing the ledge. So
Hmm.
it's pretty brutal, but that's why it's the Marth Killer.
Yeah.
um, But yeah, like your mix ups, even low, like do depend heavily on your double jump usage.
Okay.
Okay, this is good. This is good. Up air. Ooh. Okay. So the same spot. Okay, no double jump. I think you got caught on it when you got hit by this back air. It's hard to see because of the resolution here.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have got hit by there. Here you down aired. Oh no, I think you just didn't use it actually. You just missed it. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't say you lost that to the edge guards for the most part. Like, you definitely lost 3 stocks over the 3 games, which isn't like a nothing amount. But I mean, honestly, I feel like you just dropped more punishes in that game just from like a quick watch through.
Yeah.
Like your chain grabs and edge guards were pretty weak on FD, I'd say. Like you got a lot of like, especially on this last stock, like you got a ton of big openings on him here, right? Like, let's see. Nair, tech chase, up tilt, up air, which is like, this is all great, but then you get nothing off of it because you're not reacting to where you're going with this, right?
Yeah.
And even still, like you could, in theory here, just like up tilt, you could F smash here, you could up tilt again, honestly, but I don't hate the up air, it's just like, it's tough. Up air backwards again, still get nothing off of it. Probably at a percent like this, you might want to forward air him. Like just do like a tip or fair. Sorry, here, right? You could hit tip or fair here. But yeah, anyway. And here you're just a little slow on the dash back. Though to be fair, you probably could actually dash backwards. Or even like crouch cancel this too. Just CC grab it. But then yeah, and then you get caught out of a combo double jumping and miss your recovery. But it's like, it's so brutal because getting around this recovery with Marth unironically is pretty tricky. I mean, this is like, without Marth Killer, this is what Foxes have been trying to solve for years, right? Because they know like, okay, well, if I get double jump through or whatever, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
But that's the solution they've come up with, is the unreactable shine. So it does force you to react a little bit more, but still I would say like, even just like wiggling out and like falling through them and grabbing the ledge, like most Foxes aren't ready for that, even though they could in theory shine it. Like they're really just looking for the double jump from a distance out, you know? But yeah, any questions on the recovery stuff? Is that hopefully help?
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. Like highlights are just like try to be like reactive to what your opponent is doing and like just hold on to the your double jump as late as possible, and then like preferably if you need to like side B, or if you need to use something to like get closer to the stage, it's better to use side B than it is to like double jump early.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I would say the biggest thing is just like, in general, just to like simplify it, is like just to keep as many resources as you can, like all the time, right? Like
Yeah.
here, I would probably try and just straight up grab the ledge if I could.
Yeah.
But like while I'm doing it, my eyes are just on Fox and I'm just paying attention to him. But yeah, like that I would say is like a really big thing for, at least against Fox. Like I don't think it probably matters a lot. I think that's probably a bad way to put it, but like I think to make a Fox's life more difficult, you have to do this, because otherwise, like, I think Fox's edgeguard flowcharts aren't as like linear as like Sheik or Falcon for the most part. Like they have to like play some sort of mix up, but this is pretty reliably like the most guaranteed flowchart that they have. It just doesn't cover like everything. It still has mix-ups in it.
Okay.
But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on how you were recovering that set. I don't know if you have like questions about other characters or anything, but I assume it's probably a similar story.
Yeah, I think like what we talked about, like it seems like the issues that we found are like general enough that it's just like I can apply that to other characters, and then if there's like, yeah, then maybe in the future I can just ask you about like some specific situation. But I think generally speaking, like every character edgeguards Marth pretty similarly.
For the most part, like it definitely has to do with like your ledge invincibility, right? Like that's
Yeah.
what a lot of people struggle with, especially lower levels, because they're like, one, not fast at grabbing the ledge, but two, like don't really understand like why they have to change their timings on it.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I will say, so like with Falcon in particular, I think he is like a pretty difficult edge guard recovery, um,
Yeah.
or sorry, recovery to make it back against him with,
Mm-hmm.
because of this, right? Like, so if the whole idea is like don't let Marth grab the ledge with your edge guards, like this is a pretty fast, like this is definitely faster than just doing this, right? And I'm not even like good at doing a hack stash, but like the point being, like if you're really good at them, you get them frame perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or sorry, you get them frame perfect, but you're also like fully invincible. So Falcon, unironically, like is one of the few characters in the game that does just have like a pretty reliable, just like I'm just gonna take control of the ledge and the stage all at the same time against Marth.
Yeah.
But this only really works when he doesn't have his double jump, right? Because otherwise, like, sure, you might be still scared of double jumping as Marth for like something like that, like way dash off back air, and they'll do stuff like that sometimes. But honestly, like, it is still possible, like while you're going low, to like let him do the same hack stash bullshit or like hold the ledge and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you're reactive the whole time you're falling low while he's doing this, like you can pretty reliably just pick a spot and hope to execution test him that you hit him like right here, let's say.
I can't see your mouse.
Yes.
You're using.
No, I'm just saying like the position of where he is to the ledge, like right
Oh,
before he
okay.
grabs the ledge, right? Because that's likely
Mm-hmm.
where the invincibility is going to end. Like I was one frame off there, but like anything from here onwards, like you're kind of done for, right? So it's a really tight timing,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd say you want to aim to hit him like right here or something. Let's say.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm gonna miss it there, but yeah. But that being said, like I don't want to scare you away of like trying to mix up things at the ledge either. Like I do think there is value in like um, when you're recovering like this, let's say against a fox who's just like holding Marth Killer at the ledge and just threatening to like hit you like out. I actually don't think there's anything wrong with like going for, I'm trying to see if I can get one, going for a double jump like this, like really high, right? Because if he wants to hit you, he'll have to he's gonna have to use something other than like full up air and cover your landing. So at least you do get that mix up of like, am I gonna like actually go for the down air? Am I just gonna land? Am I gonna counter? Like, it's still a bad spot, just like recovering low is, but this is like recovering this high is an option too, just not a great one, because if you do get hit, you're dead, you know? But I would say generally, yeah, like the way you edge guard or the way you recover with Marth, like I would probably aim to side B as low as I possibly can, like here maybe. Even then, like I could have gone lower. I don't know. But what's nice is like you can't be hit from all the way down here, right? Like they have to like really hard read and call you out, and you still get the mix up of like, am I gonna up B out back like here? And obviously with the right height, but like, am I gonna up B and position it like here? Am I gonna up B and position it like here, right at the ledge? Or am I gonna go like on stage a little bit and just do it like a little earlier, right? Like that. But yeah, so those are the mix-ups, I would say, at least. But do you have any other? We have about like 6 minutes left or so. Did you have any questions, or do you want to play a bit, or I could also watch you play ranked maybe for a set?
You're not quite good enough to stream and do that at the same time. Yeah, I think I don't know. We can play like 1 or 2 games. I guess.
Sure. Yeah, I'm done. I'll play Fox since we talked about Fox.
I'll just stop watching your stream just so the lag isn't terrible.
Yeah, sure. I'll just turn it off.
Yeah. Are you still on Mario?
Yeah. What's your code?
Remo 405.
Okay.
You had a good time at Nouns Bowl, by the way?
I had a pretty good time, yeah. I think my bracket wasn't as good as I wanted to, but I got some good things out of it, so I'm not complaining too much, but so that's that recovery.
Was I too far there, or was it just like...
You were too far, but also your side B was pretty late, so again, like, not to say that you couldn't have ripped an early up B and caught me off guard there, but it also just lets me kind of like sit and do nothing and just guess.
So there were you too far out for me to like really do that, I guess?
I think you hesitated on drift. You could have like double jumped forward and hit me.
Okay.
But I would say in general, like from the times that you have hit me, or like the set we just watched, when you do go for the forward air on the up Bs, you're aiming for tipper spacing. You want to get a weak forward air, so you send them out. So you got to go in a little more, but just a bit.
So you think that side B is probably too early then?
Yeah, I would say it's a little too early, but I would say the biggest adjustment you probably need to make right now is just focusing on sweet spotting, right? Because I'm intentionally like not grabbing the ledge so that you're gonna give you a chance to go low, but I'm also trying to like hit you out of it when you come back up. So yeah, that one may be too slow, but my fox is also too slow to cover that one. That one was good.
Choose your character versus Marth. Ready? Go!
Is there something better I could have done there, do you think? Or is this...
Well, like you did just drop the edge guard after the forward air. If you aimed your up B, you could have hit me on the side B back. But
okay.
Otherwise, I was in a pretty tough spot. You just kind of dropped it.
Okay.
So like that. So yeah, there, right? You can't let me grab the ledge there, that Marth killer for free. If you're gonna go low, you gotta hit me on the double jump back, or at least double upbeat a ledge.
Okay.
Makes sense. We'll do one more.
So like I don't want to let you set up Marth killer ideally.
Me setting up Marth killer is like one thing,
Mhm.
but me like grabbing the ledge after to kind of like stop you from being able to do anything. Like I jumped out of Marth killer to hit you, and then I didn't commit to it, and then I tried to grab the ledge after, and you let me. There, you should upbeat to the ledge and not let me grab the ledge.
Okay.
We'll do it on Stadium for the last one. I think Stadium, unironically, is like a good stage to practice it on, because it's like, even though, yeah, it's hard for you to see where you're putting the up Bs because of the stage sticking out and making it visibly hard to see. I think a benefit of it being visibly hard to see is it kind of forces you to think a little bit about what you're going to do while you're low, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. I was definitely gonna shine you if you side B there.
So
I was definitely gonna shine you if you side B there, so that was good. You reacted. All right. So yeah, I mean, I would say there's some there's some variety in recoveries in just those past 3 games if you wanted to watch them. But typically speaking, I mean, I didn't really try and threaten the double jump too much that one time, like the double jump out at you. But I mean, even on the one time I did go for it, like you covered it pretty reliably and just hit me out of it. So yeah, hopefully that helps. I hope that answers your questions about recoveries.
No, I think that does. I think there's some big ones. I think like especially like trying to hit someone like when they're trying to grab the edge and just like what I'm sort of looking for. I think and just like holding onto the resources will give me some stuff. Like of course like it's not gonna like I'm not just gonna magically understand it. Like that's not how it works. But I think it'll give me some stuff to like play around with and experiment.
I would say the one like last thing I'd mention about like hitting people off the ledge specifically, which is like helpful, is a lot of it's like percent dependent too. Like if you're actually able to do it or not. Like sometimes in like the Marth ditto, let's say, like people will intentionally get hit by Marth's upbeat and they'll just like forward you out of it, or like like there are some foxes that like I know Rishi is like pretty notable for it. Like he would like get hit with DK, like let them hit him early and then he would just up B after that little like time to float. But I do think that's like also like good to keep him a reminder of, because even if it's like not really, it's more like a gimmick than anything. Like it kind of does force you to think a little bit about like, okay, once I do grab the ledge, like am I actually able to like fair them and like knock them down, or do I have to like play to like inch my way forward or something? That's just something to keep in mind. But yeah, that's really all I'd say.